As I'm here knocking out tasks, prepping this car for the Corkscrew Classic at Laguna Seca in a few weeks, I want to give some insight as to the ethos behind how I'm kind of running this racing program. I'm taking it really seriously, and the reasons are sort of twofold. One, I'm just OCD and a perfectionist, and I like everything to be as perfect as it can be. But two, it's a huge investment for me, monetarily and time-wise. I'll go over the numbers on this car at some point, but at a high level, I can't count the hours I have into the building this and tuning it and everything. Just countless hours and trips to vendors and all sorts of stuff. And I think it's about $110,000 car at this point, and running a race weekend at Laguna is easily a $5,000 endeavor for me. And for me, those are like big numbers. It's a really big investment. So, anything I can do to not have things go wrong, I'm going to do in the preparation. I'm going to be as thorough as I can and do things right. Because it's a huge cost if I go there and something breaks, right? That's a lot of wasted money, not to mention figuring out how to get the car back and stuff. My inspiration behind running this, it's this team. I'm the sponsor, the mechanic, the driver. I'm doing everything, but my inspiration behind like how I'm campaigning this car is Roger Penske Motorsports. When I was growing up kart racing, I was lucky enough to meet Roger a few times, really got on well with him, and just the way he runs his ship, the captain, it's a really tight ship. And even recently, I was at the Long Beach Grand Prix in the IMSA paddock and saw Roger's setup. And the legs of the bar stools behind the hauler are polished. They're perfect. And for me, that's the only way to do things. So, I don't have a toter home and a hauler, but I'm doing the best I can to be at that level at the budget that I'm at. So, Roger's an inspiring guy for me on the business front, on what he's achieved in motorsport, all sorts of stuff. A lot of lessons to be learned there. And I'm doing the best I can to run this car like that. And it is a huge amount of work to run it at that level. I think at the other end of the spectrum, I could have, I drove this back from testing at Willow Springs a week or two ago. I could have not done anything and just brought it to Laguna as is. Instead, I have like 11 or 12 items on my checklist that I'm going through. I'm putting in time every day to make this car a little bit better, to get it as good as I can get it with what I have. So, it's thousands and thousands of more dollars and I don't know, tens or hundreds of more hours versus taking the other route. But I think with that effort, I'll get some results. It'll be a good looking car there. And I hope it's competitive. I'm sure my driving is the weakest part. I'm fresh back into this, just, haven't spent a whole lot of time on the track compared to what I used to do, where I was at the track every week, practicing and testing and racing every weekend. But outside of that, I hope it's a decently competitive car. I know I can pour more money in. I could use some good shocks and stuff. That would make a difference. There's a long ways to develop this car further, but doing the best I can with where I'm at, the experience I have, the budget and time that I have. So really excited to get out there. I think going and running this car, probably it means more to me than you would think. It's bringing me back to my old days of I always wanted to be a race car driver, and didn't make it to the professional level. Obviously, there's a lot there. We weren't rich, and I got tall, but the bottom line is I wasn't fast enough. I mean, I don't have the talent of the top guys. So, it's fun to come back in, do this vintage racing kind of at this level. It gets your heart going, and it means a lot to me in a few senses. There's the big effort behind it, but also I worked real hard to get to this point. I mean, my business, I'm the sponsor of this car. There's no outside money in it. So I guess in some sense, I'm achieving that dream to some degree at 36 years old here. So, it's just a starting point. Excited to see where it goes, but really enjoying the journey. It'd be miserable if I wasn't, because it's, like I said, it's a lot of work and enough money to make me feel sick. So, anyway, just wanted to give you guys some of the thoughts that I have on this program and how it's going, where we're at. And as far as goals, I don't know. I mean, ultimate goal would be to go sports car racing in some of the major sports car races in the world. That's that's a top level goal. But I might just enjoy vintage racing for the time being. I'll see where it goes, but I'm enjoying it for now. So really appreciate you guys following along. This YouTube is new to me too, so this is something I've never done, and it's made the journey a lot of fun. I read all the comments, and it's fun meeting people in person who have watched these videos. So appreciate you guys. Thanks.